I would like to formally give a welcome address on behalf of SOCHAM as their chair for the IPR Council, National IPR Council. Shri O.P. Gupta ji, CGPDTM Intellectual Property Office, Dr. Abhay, Chief Innovation Officer for Ministry of HRD, Government of India, Mr. A.K. Mittal, Advisor, TSDSI, Shri Sapir Anand, SOCHAM IPR Council Co-Chair and Senior Partner at Anand & Anand, and Ms. Monica Magnuson, Vice President, IPR Policy, Ericsson. Delegates, friends, panelists, a very good afternoon to all of you, and a very warm welcome to the second IPR Conclave and IPTSE Awards.
There is a competitive spirit, people work out solutions, and while developing standards, this is really a collaboration and competition and a lot of dynamics involved in what way the solutions are accepted and become part of the standard. And those solutions, they are covered by a patent, and more often than not, they are covered by a patent. And without those patents, a solution and a standard cannot be actually implemented. So there in telecommunications, patents, and they are becoming a SEP. It plays a very, very important role.
It is complex for sure, but IP awareness and collaboration is the way to go forward. And good faith negotiations with each other, respect for each other's IP is the way forward to make it more simple.
If we are aiming for $5 trillion economy, then we have to evolve as knowledge-based society, as knowledge-based economy. And from that perspective, we believe that IP creation is one of the most important aspects.
The IPTSE 2020 offers exams to 5 different kinds of candidates: school students, university students, law students who may or may not have prior knowledge of IPR, design and media students, and researchers. So it's very broad. We hope to see more students understanding and utilizing IP and harnessing its power to innovate and create. For art, for tech, for beauty, for profit, for the future of India. We believe it's significant to nurture the young talent and establish IP awareness early during school itself to encourage safety and protection in innovation. This is the right way to invent. With the right measures, unique innovations will continue to prosper and continue in boosting the economic growth of this country.
Wealth creation through innovation is immense. And now we know the top 4 or top 5 companies in the world, their tangible assets are next to nothing. Their whole value is in intangible assets. And these are good enough examples to give incentive to the next generation that this is where the future lies. And IP will be a natural consequence of all this innovations as we move forward.
So the world has gone through an industrial revolution, it has gone through an agricultural revolution, it has gone through .com, it has gone to IT, and in a very symbolic way, they are now at the start of an intellectual property revolution. So it's a great future for those who partake in it, and not necessarily just the lawyers and the corporates, but even the student community.
I think the time has come when we need to put certain aspects of the IP into the curriculum at the level of the school +2 level and at BTech level.
We all know that to have a strong IP, it also has to be detectable, so not everything is fileable as a patent. There are some things that are kept as trade secrets, and we need to find ways to incentivize or to make sure that these trade secrets are protected well.
Engaging the students from the very early stage is great effort by these groups. Because it's the right time to catch the talent and also try to mobilize them the research innovation.
Inventive state is a big hurdle in establishing patentability of AI systems because it does not follow specific steps, but the invention happens the way the system is configured. We look for peripheral part of the system apart from the algorithm and the model. What we are doing to make it inventive, because the same model is used by 1,000 people or maybe millions of people. But question is how we are configuring it for specific purpose. So that could be one of the aspects that one can look at.
Stronger intellectual property rights seem to encourage foreign direct investment in production and R&D, and equally, or even maybe more importantly, it also encourages domestic innovation. And given the enormous resources, the huge high-tech industry in India, it really comes as no surprise that India aims to be a leader in IP and innovation. Since the release of the 2016 National IPR Policy, there's been many focused efforts by the government to support investments in innovation and creativity through increasingly robust IP protection and enforcement. And clearly things are moving in the right direction. And the result can also be seen in, for example, the Global IP Index, where India's ranking has steadily improved. Indian youth is obviously a key focus group for us. They are the inventors of the future. They are the ones who will come up with tomorrow's technology innovations.
2016, when I remember talking to the startups, loosely speaking, about 20% of those startups were IP aware. But now that number has, I would say, gone up to more than 90%. Like everyone is cognizant about that. What has also changed is the outlook of venture capital investors or VCs. Like early on, the VCs would kind of look at, hey, this is a product company. Let's make sure they are filing for patents and are they registering their industrial designs. But now, even the VCs are looking at what is the quality of IP that these companies are filing. So this trend is greatly improving.
It's a great, I think, paradox. I see Indians are naturally inventive, jugaad and all that. They are coming up with a lot of ideas, but not many ideas are actually coming to the patenting side or the innovation side as of now, as the world sees it. So how can we improve this pull factor, something which excites and motivates? Introducing the inventor remuneration as a law in India, which basically gives right and little bit of ownership for the inventors to receive some royalty when the inventions are commercialized.